Good evening. One more time. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the UGA Alumni Association's 5th Annual Bulldog 100 celebration. Tonight we're here to celebrate the excellence of the University of Georgia graduates, and we're pleased to have you join us for this special occasion. My name is Tim Cadle, a 1978 graduate of the University of Georgia, and I'm proud to serve as your Alumni Association president. We're gathered here tonight to unveil this year's list of the fastest growing businesses owned or operated by University of Georgia graduates. Nearly every school and college at UGA is represented here, and I believe that speaks volumes to the quality of graduates UGA is producing. Before we go on to dinner, let me introduce the person who leads the UGA Alumni Association as its executive director, Ms. Deborah Dietzler.
Thank you, Tim. I join Tim in welcoming you to this very special evening. As Tim mentioned, I'm Deborah Dietzler, and I have had the privilege of serving the University of Georgia for the last 17 years. As Executive Director of the Alumni Association, I am honored to represent more than 280,000 living UGA graduates around the world. I am known to brag that your successes are the best evidence of the value of a University of Georgia degree. I want to offer a special welcome to our senior administrators, our deans, and the Alumni Association Board of Directors, if those groups would kindly stand so that we could recognize you. Tonight's festivities would not be possible without the generous support of the 2014 Bulldog 100 sponsors. A listing of our sponsors may be found in your program. If you're a sponsor, please stand at this time so we may recognize you. I would especially like to mention the firm of Warren Averett CPAs and Advisors, which has graciously served as the Alumni Association's partner in the Bulldog 100 since the program's inception. You will hear later from Warren Averett member and 1977 graduate John Shirley later in the program. And a very special thank you also to Marquis sponsor, Bank of America, for its generous support of this and numerous other Alumni Association programs. Bank of America representatives are here with us tonight, and I'd like them to please stand so we may recognize their ongoing commitment to the University of Georgia and its graduates. We also express our sincerest gratitude to Platinum sponsor, the Atlanta Business Chronicle. This is the 4th year that Ed Baker, who is a member of UGA's Board of Visitors, and his team have offered their generous support of this program. The Atlanta Business Chronicle has played a critical role in the promotion and success of the Bulldog 100, and we have thoroughly enjoyed working with their helpful and talented staff. Be sure to pick up next week's issue of the Atlanta Business Chronicle to enjoy a special feature on the 2014 Bulldog 100. We are very proud to have 2-time #1 Bulldog 100 honoree Hitson Land and Timber Management serving as the platinum sponsor for this year's event. Founded and led by 1994 Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources graduate Greg Hitson, the company provides forestry consultation, cell tower civil maintenance, storage facility and asset tracking, and hauling services to customers across the Southeast. The Port Orange, Florida-based company was the fastest growing business in both 2010 and 2013, and we are so pleased to see our relationship with Hitson Land and Timber Management come full circle as the company has become an active supporter of this important program. The UGA Alumni Association proudly supports the academic excellence, best interests, and traditions of Georgia's flagship university and its alumni worldwide. We desire to be your primary contact with your alma mater and encourage you to maintain a lifelong relationship with UGA, including financial support through your gifts to the Georgia Fund for the Alumni Association. We appreciate those of you who, by giving every year, are making a difference every day. At this time, I would like to ask University of Georgia student Olivia Green to the stage. Olivia will graduate later this year with her Bachelor of Music degree, and I will invite you to stand as Olivia leads us in singing the University of Georgia alma mater. We will sing verses 1, 3, and 4, and the words are printed on the last page of your program. Please stand. Thank you, Olivia. At this time, I invite you to enjoy your dinner and the company of your fellow alumni and friends. Good evening again. Please continue to enjoy your dinner and your dessert, which I hear is very scrumptious. It is now my privilege to introduce University of Georgia President Jerry W. Moorhead. President Moorhead began his term as the 22nd president of the University of Georgia on July 1st of last year. A 1980 graduate of the university, he is the first alumnus to be named president since Dr. Fred Davison in 1967. President Moorhead is a native of Lakeland, Florida, After graduating from the UGA School of Law, he served as an assistant U.S. attorney with the Department of Justice from 1980 until 1986. At that time, he decided to pursue an interest in teaching, and I dare say we at the University of Georgia are the great beneficiaries of that decision. He returned to Athens and took on a 5-course teaching load while also overseeing the law school's moot court program. When Michael Adams became president in 1997, he asked President Moorhead, then a professor, to serve as the interim director of legal affairs. 18 months later, he was named associate provost and director of the honors program. He filled a number of other high-level administrative roles before being named Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost in 2010. President Moorhead's commitment to educating students, conducting research, and serving the public has been illustrated by a few steps he's taken since becoming president. He directed $3.3 million in unrestricted investment returns from last fiscal year to student scholarships and endowed professorships. He opened a UGA Economic Development office here in Atlanta that will provide a direct link between the Georgia Department of Economic Development and the business sector. And he emphasizes the importance of the academic experience of UGA's students. Truly, to say that he is devoted to our students, past and present, is to understate the case. I have had the pleasure of working with President Moorhead for nearly 2 decades, and he is keenly aware of the important role both our current students and our alumni play in the life of the university. He has always sought to collaborate with the Alumni Association where appropriate, and we have been delighted to help expand opportunities through various fellowships, especially the many ties we developed during the time he was director of the honors program with the Center for Undergraduate Research Opportunities. He is always sharing good news about alumni with whom he remains in touch, and he has helped me personally form many strong relationships with outstanding graduates who have gone on to serve UGA in many ways. He himself has served on the Alumni Association Board of Directors on 2 occasions, and the association remains grateful for his steadfast commitment to enhancing the academic excellence of the University of Georgia, which adds to the value of all of our degrees. It is an honor and indeed my pleasure to present to you President Jerry W. Moorhead.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you, Deborah, and good evening. Let me start this evening by congratulating those of you that are on the Bulldog 100 list. We're proud of you, and we're happy for your success. Before I introduce our keynote speaker this evening, I want to take just a moment to brag about our institution. We enrolled again this year the most qualified class in the history of the University of Georgia. They brought to Athens a grade point average of 3.86, an SAT average of 1280, and an ACT average of 29. This class is outstanding in every respect and is competitive with the best classes in the country. We're in the midst of evaluating our fall 2014 applicant pool, and I'm pleased to tell you that we have 21,200 applications, which is again a new record for the University of Georgia. Demand for a University of Georgia education is high, and we are proud of our institution. That's the expectation. Yes, applaud. That's the expectation that we set for ourselves at the University of Georgia. We see ourselves as producing the next class of leaders for the state of Georgia and beyond. We are graduating the next generation of leaders in our communities, leaders in our corporations, leaders in our businesses, and undoubtedly the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs that will soon be part of this ceremony
is among that freshman class. We believe our graduates are confident in their abilities, they are equipped for success in the future, and certainly the list of 100 tonight tells us that we're doing something right at the University of Georgia. So once again, congratulations to the distinguished honorees of the Bulldog 100. We're proud of your success. We're proud to call you our graduates. It's now my honor to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker, Fran Tarkenton. Fran Tarkenton is simply a legend at the University of Georgia and throughout this nation. Originally from Athens, Georgia, he became an All-American quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs and graduated with a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in 1961. He moved on to the NFL and a storied career with the Minnesota Vikings, leading the Vikings to 3 Super Bowl appearances. By the time he retired from the NFL, he had set passing records for touchdowns, yards, and completions, records that stood for the next 17 years. But football may not be the most impressive aspect of Fran Tarkenton's professional career. Over the past 30 years, he has launched 20 companies, the largest of which has reached revenues of $142 million. He was a founding member of the Coca-Cola Enterprises Board. He has served on the boards of Sterling Software, Blimpie International, and Prepaid Legal Services. He is the founder and CEO of Tarkenton Companies, whose offerings include small business consulting, coaching, software, telecommunications services, and insurance retirement planning. He is a regular contributor to CNN, Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and The New York Times, and he hosts the Fran Tarkenton Show on Sirius XM Radio. Recently, Fran Tarkenton partnered with Office Depot to launch smallbizclub.com, a resource center for small businesses. Throughout his career, both as a superstar athlete and as an entrepreneur, Fran Tarkenton has exemplified the excellence of the University of Georgia and its best graduates. Please join me tonight in giving a Bulldog welcome to Fran Tarkenton.
Thank you very much. It's great to be a Bulldog, isn't it? My roots are in Athens, Georgia. I didn't live in Five Points. I lived over in Normaltown at Nantahala Avenue. Everything that I've accomplished in my life all started in Athens, Georgia. Athens High School, University of Georgia. The great teachers that I had. My first teacher in junior high school was Mae Whatley. She was the wife of Big Jim Whatley. Anybody remember Jim Whatley? He was the baseball coach, great All-American and Alabama football coach. He coached football for us, and she was my 6th grade teacher, and she gave me the confidence that I could maybe learn something, and I maybe could be something. He was my Little League baseball coach, and he became like a second father to me. I grew up in the Athens school system, and then I went across the street to play for the Georgia Bulldogs. And when I came to play for the Georgia Bulldogs hadn't done much in the 50s, and we were able to win the SEC championship in 1959. In high school, I played for a really tough guy, but a Georgia graduate, Wayman Sellers. And Athens High School had never won a state championship, and my junior year, we had one of the greatest teams I've ever played on at any level. We won every game. We played the championship game against Valdosta, the legendary Valdosta, one of the greatest high school programs in the world. And we only beat those cats 41-20. It would have been more, but I ran the opening kickoff back 99 yards, and they called it back. I also had separated my shoulder during the year, and I couldn't throw. I learned the value of teamwork. And even though I couldn't throw and couldn't pass, in that championship game, for instance, I threw one pass and it was incompleted. I didn't gain 1 yard passing, didn't score one touchdown myself, and we won 41-20. It's not about me, the quarterback, it's about my teammates. It's about doing whatever you have to do to help your team be better. And we don't care who gets the glory of that. When I came over to the University of Georgia, again, the program was in shreds. Auburn was great. Tech was great. Mississippi and LSU were great. And in 1959, out of nowhere, picked to be 10th in the conference, we beat Auburn in the championship game at Sanford Stadium. And they still play the play of our pass to Bill Herron. And we beat Auburn, and we won the SEC championship. Finished number 2 in the country and beat Missouri in the Orange Bowl. I'll never forget the end of the game. It was a tough defensive battle. Pat Dye was on that team, and Pat Dye played 60 minutes. I don't know how in the world he ever got to Auburn. I keep asking him about, how did you get to Auburn? Because he was a Georgia Bulldog through and through, and late in the game, it looked like we were going to get beat, and Auburn had the ball. They were running out the clock, and Pat Dye recovered a fumble on the 45-yard line. We had 2 fourth-down plays to make, and all of a sudden we're inside the 10, and then we have another 4th down, but we'd backed up. We're at 4th and 11. Back then, nobody would give me any help and call a play from the sideline, so we called timeout, and I told the guys, I said, boys, old Don Liebran, who's a great Bulldog, I said, we got to find a way to win this game. We don't have any place for 4th and 11 down on the 11-yard line, so I drew it up in the sand. I told Bill Herron, I said, Bill, you block down on that defensive tackle and you block 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, then you head for the left corner of the end zone, over where the railroad tracks used to be. And I was going to roll out to the right, and I counted 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, planted my foot, and I looked back, and he was wide open. Thank God. I didn't think about it, so I threw it. He catches the touchdown pass. Durwood Pennington, the kicker, kicked the extra point to win the game 14-13, and Durwood Pennington's coming off the field, and Pat Dye and I are hugging him, and he said, Durwood, you won the game. He said, no, the game was already won. My extra point didn't mean anything. Thank God he didn't know it did. In my life of business, in my life of football, I have had no original thoughts. I've learned from other people. I've learned from what I saw, what I read, and what I heard. I made sure that I talked to a lot of people. When I played professional football, I talked to the old quarterbacks, the guys that were all pros and Hall of Fame quarterbacks, John Unitas and Sid Luckman and Y.A. Tittle and all that group. And as the more modern guys, I talked to Roger Staubach. How do you do it? What are you doing? And I learned from other people. I knew that I didn't have the stature that the rest of them. I was 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. They said I was too small and too slow, and they drafted me in the 3rd round. If you're drafted in the 3rd round as a quarterback, they don't think you can play. And I knew the only way I could play is to be smarter. But I didn't have all that much brain power. I had to learn from other people. I had to reinvent myself every day. I had to work at it. Because they could all run faster, throw more than I could. I was drafted in the 3rd round, as I said, to an expansion team, Minnesota Vikings. Never had played a game. Team was made up of a bunch of guys that were given away by the other teams and a few rookies. The Dallas Cowboys came in the league the year before, and the Dallas Cowboys won no games. We were 27-point underdogs playing the Chicago Bears in our first game of 1961. And by the way, my salary was $12,500. I was probably overpaid. And so we had lost 4 exhibition games. We'd lost 4 exhibition games, and now we're going to play the Bears. And the Bears were the oldest team in football. They were the king. They were coached by George Halas. He was the founder of the National Football League. He owned the Chicago Bears. He got anybody and everybody that he wanted. And we're going to play them. And I was in that locker room before that game. And I learned from my teammates. And they were sitting around that locker room, and nobody else in the world thought we had any chance of winning. And I looked around at those guys, and they're all misfits. Nobody wanted them. And I saw the look in their eye, and I saw the seriousness. I felt the presence. And I said to myself, these guys think we can win. I think we can win too. We went out and played that day. We won 41-13. I happened to complete 17 of 21 passes for 237 yards. I threw for 4 touchdown passes and ran for another. I don't remember much about it. But we won. And it was a startling victory. And George Hallis, this grand old man, founder of the league, he comes out to the middle of the field, and I've been lifted on the shoulders by my teammates. Said, "Kid, it's the greatest performance I've ever seen by a rookie in the history of this league." Now I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm pretty good. I get in that locker room, and I'm telling the people how good I am and what's this and that, and all of a sudden I'm the last one in the locker room. And I come out, and my mother, who she didn't know whether the ball was blown or stuffed. My dad was preaching that Sunday, so she came up to see her son play, and I didn't know she was there. And I come out of that locker room after the game, and I'm looking at her, and I'm torn with emotion. I said, "Mama, do you realize how many great quarterbacks there are in the world today?" She said, "One fewer than you think, my son." And the next 2 weeks, we got beat. I learned humility. Whether it's business, whether it's sports, I believe in respect. You got to have respect for people. You've got to listen to people. I don't have to be right as the quarterback. I don't have to be right as a leader, but I want to get it right. People have to talk to people. People have to constantly try to get better. And now I'll turn 74 years old on February 3rd. I'm learning faster and more today than ever before. I knew as a quarterback it wasn't about me. It was about my teammates, about making my teammates better. I know in business, it's about serving your customer, serving your partner, serving your people, bringing value to these people. No, it's about making money. No, it's not about making money. That's a byproduct of making products that people want, services that solves problems for them, but making the customer experience great. And when we do that, we have a sustainable mission. If it's about making money and wanting to be one of the Wall Street billionaires or one of the social networking billionaires, we'll compromise our principles. It's about respect. It's about sharing and working and talking and listening. I'll close with this story. It's one of my favorites. Wally Butts didn't want me at Georgia. He had Charlie Britt and Tom Lewis. These were two of the best high school quarterbacks that came out of the country the year before. They were freshmen when I was still in high school. They were going to be sophomores and they were going to play. And they were really talented. They were bigger than I was. They could throw better. They were faster and probably a lot smarter. And I remember that I was my senior year. I was walking around Athens, and after our Friday night games, they said, "Where are you going to college?" I said, "Well, I don't know. You don't want to go to Georgia?" I said, "Why don't I want to go to Georgia?" Charlie Britt and Tommy Lewis are there. You'll never play. They said that one time too many, because Auburn was recruiting me and Tech was recruiting me and all the other schools. And so at the last minute, I changed my mind and I signed with the University of Georgia, and freshmen didn't play, and we were able to win all of our freshman games. I was telling Jerry that on the week before we played the varsity was going to play. We played the varsity in Sanford Stadium, a game. We're freshmen. We beat them 14-7. That's how bad they were. So now we then have spring practice, and I'm third string, and Coach Butts said, "Well, we're going to hold you out and redshirt you, and you'll get another year education." I said, "I don't want to be redshirted, Coach Butts. I'm going to graduate in 4 years. I go to class. I'm going to graduate in 4 years. I'm going to get out of here, and I want to play now because I can help your team." It's a good attitude, son. That summer, I worked hard. I ran those stadium steps. I got a bag of 10 footballs. I'd go out in that Sanford Stadium, and I'd throw balls all over the place and getting my timing, getting my arms strong, and I was ready to go in August. I worked hard, practiced hard. We're a week away from playing the University of Texas, the first game of the season, and Coach Butts came up to me and said, "Son, you've had a great training camp, but we're going to redshirt you." Can't redshirt me? Yeah, we're going to redshirt you, but you got the right attitude. You'll be good. So I go out to Texas the opening night in Austin, Texas. Night game, lights going, band playing. I mean, I'm 18 years old. Gosh, it was great. I always, being a red shirt, you still practice, went to the games, knew the game plan. I just didn't want to be red-shirted. We go out and we play Texas Longhorns. We play for 2.5 quarters. Charlie Britt's the quarterback. They'd only scored 7 points against us, but we hadn't had a first down. We didn't make a first down in 2.5 quarters. And I'm standing next to Coach Butts all during the first half. "Put me in, Coach, put me." I think Charlie Britt's getting a little tired. And I'm just jerking his jacket, and I'm doing whatever I could to disrupt him. Now, in the middle of the third quarter, they punt to us. Our guy fair catches the ball on the 5-yard line. Shouldn't do that. Should let the ball bounce in there. He fair caught on the 5-yard line, way down that end. Coach Butch is right next to me, and I look over, and Charlie Britt, who was the starter, is sitting on the bench. He hadn't gotten up yet. I bolted for the field. True story. I bolted for the field. Nobody knew what was going on because of people coming and going and so forth. Charlie later said, "I saw you up here with Coach Butch. You ran on the field. I figured he put you in." I said, "Most of my errors, Charlie, are errors of assumption. Never assume anything." So I get on the field, and I get in the huddle. They said, "What are you doing here? I thought you were redshirt." I said, "Don't say anything, just go." We start our drive. We start going down the field, and we're making a first down here and a first down there, and get to the 50-yard line. I so wanted to look over at Coach Butts just to see what he was doing. But I did. We went on. We got down to the 5-yard line. Now it's 4th down and 5 yards to go, and we had to make this touchdown. Time's running out, and I called a timeout, and I get in the huddle, and I said, "Boys, we gotta get this thing together here." And so I called a play, and I rolled out to the left, and nothing was happening there. I rolled back to the right, then I rolled to the left again. And I was buying in time, trying to find somebody open, and all of a sudden, somebody was open on the right side of the field, and I threw it, and he caught it, and we now are behind 7-6. Place is going crazy. Coach Butts sends the kicker in to kick their extra point, but this was the first year of the 2-point conversion. And so I waved the kicker off. I'm 18 years old. And I tell the boys in the huddle, Pat Dye and all of them, I said, "Boys," I said, "if you want me to get on that plane with y'all going back to Athens, we better get this 2-point play here, or I'm going to ride the bus back." So I called this play, and I'm scrambling around the backfield, buying time, and all of a sudden, the good news is I've got one of my receivers wide open for the 2-point play in the end zone. The bad news is his name was Gordon Kelly. He was really a linebacker, played linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers, and he had hands of stone. Back then, ends really were defensive ends. They weren't spread out. We had them at like a tackle, and he's wide open. Bam! I throw that ball. I hit him right between the 8 and the 4 because the ball went through his hands and hit between the 8 and the 4, and I said, "Oh, no." And that ball is just falling to the ground. But just before he got to the ground, he picked it up off the ground and made the play. And we go ahead 8-7. And I think about that, go Dogs. And I think about that, we talk about change. But change is hard, and we never change unless we create a sense of desperation. We get things done. And I didn't know about sense of desperation, but I've thought about it since that time. If I don't make that move, if I don't create that sense of desperation and make that thing happen, I wouldn't be standing here tonight, because I probably wouldn't have had a career at Georgia, because Britt was pretty good. Tommy Lewis was even better. I might never have been drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, and I don't know what I'd be doing, but I'm glad I've put myself in, because I'm here in Bulldog Nation Place honoring 100 companies, Georgia graduates that had great growth. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for letting me be here and be your speaker for the night. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Fran, I'm going to ask you to come back up for a special presentation. The Bulldog 100 is pleased to honor you, a BBA 1961 graduate by the UGA Alumni Association, in appreciation for your role as our keynote speaker for the Bulldog 100. Thank you for a memorable speech. Appreciate it very much.
And let me also add my thanks to you, Fran Tarkenton. You are another wonderful Bulldog who we can count on at all times to step up when we need you, and what wonderful remarks you offered tonight. And given that Fran made some mention about team, you know, so much of what I say here is written by my wonderful team, who never seem to write in any thanks for themselves. So if you would be so kind as to just offer a round of applause to the outstanding Alumni Relations team and our colleagues from the Office of Special Events, who work tirelessly to make this event what it is. At this time, please join me in taking a look back at the Bulldog 100 as we are celebrating 5 years of recognizing outstanding alumni-owned and operating businesses.
In only 5 years, the Bulldog 100 has become an unqualified success. Imagine, in the first year alone, more than 400 businesses were nominated for those first 100 spots. More than 500 individuals joined in the first celebration. Your UGA Alumni Association had introduced a major recognition program, which would grow to engage both alumni and the general community in an annual conversation about economic growth. The Bulldog 100 celebrates alumni from every school and college and individuals from different backgrounds, locations, and industries. But every Bulldog 100 business has two things in common. Each has achieved great success during a turbulent economic time, and each business is led by at least one Georgia Bulldog. Now in its 5th year, the Bulldog 100 has received more than 3,300 nominations and has honored 311 businesses from 130 cities in 20 states. Consider this: the average compounded annual growth rate of all honorees over the past 5 years was 32.67%. The average growth of the NASDAQ for the same period was just 16.7% and only 6.9% for the S&P 500. This underscores the importance of UGA in the economic future of our state, country, and world. Bulldog 100 celebrations bring out the best of the Bulldog Nation. Headlined by prominent UGA graduates serving as keynote speakers, men and women reflecting professionalism, achievement, and initiative. The top honoree each year has represented the diverse business interests of the Bulldog 100, from land management to protective apparel to IT staffing. Number 1 in 2010 and again in 2013 was Hitson Land and Timber Management, founded and owned by 1994 graduate Greg Hitson. In 2011, it was 1982 graduate Bob Pinkney, leading the fastest growing Bulldog business, EvoShield. Then Jobtopia, founded by 1993 graduate Anthony Moore, was the #1 honoree in 2012. Of the hundreds of businesses the university has recognized between 2010 and 2014, only 4 have achieved such sustained growth that they made the list all 5 years. Each year, the Atlanta Wine School, led by Michael Bryant, hosts 4,000 individuals for wine courses for novice to advanced learners, coordinates corporate entertainment programs, and conducts more than 80 private wine functions. Bryant, Carroll and Associates, located in Atlanta and led by Jake Bryant, helps clients feel confident about their future by helping organize their finances and planning for retirement goals. Evo Shield, located in Bogart, Georgia, and led by Bob Pinkney, produces protective gear for every Major League Baseball team, the majority of NFL teams, and many collegiate programs and national retailers, using its cutting-edge gel-to-shell technology. And MomCore, located in Atlanta and led by Allison O'Kelly, is a certified talent acquisition and career development firm that serves as a resource for companies of all sizes to find experienced professionals who are seeking a better work-life balance.
My wife's friend nominated us the first year, and she asked my permission, and I said sure. I didn't think we would have a chance to be one of the top 100 businesses at University of Georgia. And then when I found out we were actually nominated and made the cut for the top 100, we were thrilled.
The first time we found out that Evo Shield was on the Bulldog 100, we were very excited. We had no idea what position we would fall in on the list, but it was quite exciting to know that we were named as one of the top 100 fastest growing companies.
The electricity in the air was great, and there was just a really fun culture. And I've noticed that persists, and if anything, it's gotten a little bit more competitive each year, which is really fun. It just means that it's more important for us to stay on that list.
I think it's been a great opportunity to network with some of the other top men and women that have graduated from University of Georgia in the country.
It's so great to see all the businesses that are there and all the fantastic things that each of these business owners are achieving.
What this represented for us in being a part of the top 100 is it was really the first sort of tethering that we had back to our alma mater in a long time. And so it was fantastic to be able to have that connection, get back. I reconnected with some of the folks that I went to school with back in the 80s. I met some new folks. Gosh, we even did some business while we were there that evening. So it's one of those occasions where it makes you very proud to be affiliated with the school that you come from. And it's, for a lot of us, the only time that we really have that touch point, that connection point back to our school each year.
We have 16 employees here, and we're represented by about 15 different colleges, and none of the other colleges that I know of recognize the fastest growing businesses.
It's a real source of pride within Evo Shield that we're on the Bulldog 100 list every year, and we really strive to make sure our growth rates are there to keep us up and maintain being on that list for a long time to come.
This is a very important award for us. We plan to continue to be on that list, and it'll be one of the top business goals for me each year.
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
The Bulldog 100 would not be possible without the gracious support of Warren Averett CPAs and Advisors and passionate UGA graduate John Shirley. Warren Averett's team of professionals puts a great amount of work into each year's program, verifying financial information provided by hundreds of nominees and producing each year's ranked list. Their contribution has been invaluable, and the UGA Alumni Association expresses its sincerest gratitude to John and his team for their tireless support of the Bulldog 100. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Shirley, class of 1977.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. One fact, obviously, from that video, 5 years ago, I had a lot more hair and it was a lot darker at that time, for sure. But we certainly appreciate this opportunity. Fran, you talk about team. We've had a wonderful team that is assembled to make this possible. When we came up with this vision a little over 5 years ago to recognize both small and large companies and their success and carried that to the University of Georgia, the Alumni Board, the Office of the President, the Office of the Vice President of Development. We have put together a team that has really taken the ball and run with this, and we're so excited to just be a part of that. I hope you'll take time to note those people. There are too many to call out by name, but they're in your program, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And so on behalf of the honorees that are here tonight, let me thank you for this opportunity that you have provided to recognize these companies tonight. And on behalf, obviously, of the Warren Averett members and our firm, I would like to congratulate the 2014 class of the Bulldog 100. We at Warren Averett had valued our partnership with UGA Alumni Association in recognizing the fastest growing Bulldog businesses for the past 5 years. I am pleased to be here tonight to help celebrate the Bulldog 100 class of 2014. Regardless of your ranking, making it into the top 100 fastest growing businesses is quite an accomplishment. The evaluation of the nominees for this year's class took into account each business's compounded annual growth rate over a 3-year period of time. These have been the most challenging years for businesses that I have seen in my 37-year career. The alumni leaders for these companies have represented the best of the best in their respective industries, and you honor your alma mater with your accomplishments and presence here this evening. For anyone starting or leading a business, we know there is always work to be done, and I hope you will take advantage of the resources offered by the University of Georgia and the UGA Alumni Association to help you continue to grow and to succeed. To determine the 2014 class in the rankings, our firm completed the application process by asking each company to submit its gross revenue numbers for the years 2010 through 2012. Our team calculated the compounded annual growth rate based on the information provided by each company, verified under the guidelines of the program. From this information, we ranked each finalist from 1 to 100, producing the official ranking of the Bulldog 100 class of 2014. You as a class of 2014 continue to simply amaze me. As you will note from this slide, the average compounded annual growth rate for the respective 3-year periods for each class has increased from 17% from the class of 2012 to 39% for the class of 2013 to 48% for the class of 2014. Hitting 48% annual growth over the last 3 years is quite an accomplishment. I am sure that you did not do this alone. Those sitting at your table tonight help you achieve those goals. So please give yourselves a round of applause in recognition of your success. I would also like to highlight that the top 50 of the Bulldog 100 class of 2014 came in at 70% compounded annual growth rate compared to 55% for last year's class. And the top 10 of the Bulldog 100 class of 2014 came in at an amazing 143% compounded annual growth rate compared to last year's 111%. We are proud to have a total of 9 states, plus the District of Columbia, represented on this list. Companies are located as far west as Texas and as far northeast as New Jersey. 79 companies are in our home state of Georgia, representing 38 cities. There are more than 50 industries represented on this list, from landscape design to professional services, from financial services to agricultural machinery, from healthcare to advertising. As always, the Bulldog 100 companies are diverse and innovative. One of the major goals of each Bulldog 100 company, past and present, is to be named to the Bulldog 100 list every year. The competition is making this very difficult, as shown by the video that just played. Only 4 businesses have made the list all 5 years. This year, 49 companies are repeat honorees, and we welcome 51 new businesses here tonight. This continues a trend in which more than half of each year's list has included first-time honorees. I am pleased to report that in the 5th anniversary year, the UGA Alumni Association has recognized a total of 311 businesses through the Bulldog 100 program. Congratulations to each of you for your success. I believe most of us would agree that UGA made and continues to make great contributions in our lives, both professionally and personally. I encourage you to consider giving back to your alma mater in recognition of the success that you have achieved. Get involved with the Alumni Association, as there are numerous opportunities to better yourself and the students who will lead our country in the future. As we continue to see difficult growth in the job market, I encourage you to consider UGA graduates when looking to hire. There is a tremendous pool of talented young people leaving Athens at the end of each semester. I would like now to invite representatives from the UGA Alumni Association Student Alumni Council to the stage. They will unveil the rankings of the Bulldog 100 class of 2014. Then Deborah Dietzler will return to the stage to present the #1 fastest growing Bulldog business. Please join me in greeting these outstanding student leaders with a warm Georgia Bulldog welcome.
My name is Meredith Dean. I'm a 4th year from Alpharetta, Georgia, majoring in digital and broadcast journalism. Thanks to my involvement with Grady News Source and the Grady College of Journalism, I've had the opportunity to intern for the Fox 5 investigative team, CNN International, and Terre de Langue in Tour France. I was also named a McGill Fellow for Journalistic Courage and Excellence in Journalism. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. The Bulldog 100, fastest growing Bulldog businesses. When your company name is called, please send one representative to the side of the stage that your information card lists to receive your award. You will then be escorted backstage to await the class picture at the conclusion of the program. Number 100, Capital Investment Advisors, Atlanta, Georgia, Michael Reiner, class of '74, and Mitch Reiner, class of 2005. Number 99, Johnson and Garrison LLC, Sugar Hill, Georgia, Jeff Johnson, class of '89. Number 98, Sunburst Beach Vacations, Seagrove Beach, Florida, Payson Comer Howard, class of '83, Steve Howard, class of '83. Number 97, Breda Pest Management, Loganville, Georgia, Roger Breda, class of '73. Number 96, Sherpa Web Studios, Atlanta, Georgia, David Felfoldi, class of 2001. Number 95, The Butin Group, St. Simons Island, Georgia, Mary Butin, class of '86. Number 94, Interchanges, Jacksonville, Florida, Nelson Bruton, class of 2002. Number 93, Howell Orthodontics, Jefferson, Georgia, Emily F. Howell, class of 2000. Number 92, Terrapin Beer Company, Athens, Georgia, John Cochran, class of '93, Dustin Watts, class of 2003, and Irina Melnick Cochran, class of '93. Number 91, The Association Source, LLC, Boca Raton, Florida, Jody Rosen Atkins, class of '89, and class of '91.
My name is Joseph Arnold. I'm a 4th year from Roswell, Georgia, majoring in marketing and public relations. I am the first member of my family to attend UGA, and am proud to call myself a Georgia Bulldog. I'm active on campus as a member of the Public Relations Student Society of America, a Grady College ambassador, and the president of the International Association of Business Communicators. Number 90, Robert Bowden Incorporated, Marietta, Georgia. Robert Bowden, class of 68, and Steve Cole, class of 78 and class of 80. Number 89, Happy and Healthy Products Incorporated, Boca Raton, Florida. Linda Kerr Cam, class of 78. Number 88, Lincoln Capital Advisors, Roswell, Georgia. James N. Cheely, class of 94, and Blake Turner, class of 99. Number 87, Home Instead Senior Care, Valdosta, Georgia. Jack W. Hartley, class of 78. Number 86, Westside Veterinarian Hospital, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Scott Bryant, class of 94. Number 85, Force Consulting, Athens, Georgia. Brooks Mendel, class of 2004. Number 84, Johnson Benefits Group, LLC, Duluth, Georgia. Jeffrey Johnson, class of 2000 and 2003, and Anna Brookshire Johnson, class of 2002. Number 83, Scott Circle Communications Incorporated, Washington, D.C. Laura Gross, class of 95. Number 82, Vantage Realty Partners, Atlanta, Georgia. Gene Rice, class of 2005. Number 81, Yancey Wire and Cable, College Park, Georgia. Richard Yancey, class of 87.
My name is Nicole Dance. I'm a third year majoring in international affairs, and I am a third generation Bulldog. I am fluent in French and have a passion for world affairs, which I have developed through extensive travel and studying abroad with the School of Public and International Affairs semester at Oxford program. I am currently interning at the Carter Center and look forward to a career in the field of law, public policy, and development. Number 80, Gas Innovations, LaPorte, Texas. Ashley Madre, class of 80. Number 79, Prestige Staffing, Atlanta, Georgia. Ronnie Hollis, class of 96. Number 78, Trotter Jones, LLP, Augusta, Georgia. James B. Trotter, class of 2000, and David C. Jones, class of 97. Number 77, Intrepid Capital Funds, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Mark Travis, class of 84. Number 76, Seacrest Partners, Savannah, Georgia. Cindy Parker Robinette, class of 89, and Cliff McCurry, class of 71. Number 75, SDA CPA Group PC, Dunwoody, Georgia. Stanley Dean, class of 85 and class of 86, and Kelly Dean, class of 89 and class of 91. Number 74, Atlas Real Estate Advisors, Athens, Georgia. Chris Blackman, class of 99, and Matt Thomas, class of 2000. Number 73, The Service Fort, Atlanta, Georgia. Jeremy Fort, class of 98, and Brad Beam, class of 97. Number 72, Rumor Boutique, Macon, Georgia. Ashley S. Johnson, class of 2003. Number 71, Tim's Pharmacy. Cornelia, Georgia. Tim Kaminsky, class of '89, and Kim Kaminsky, class of 2000.
My name is John Hagan, and I am a fourth year from Roswell, Georgia, majoring in risk management and insurance. I currently serve as the programs chairperson for the Student Alumni Council, and am also a member of Delta Epsilon Iota Academics Honor Fraternity. I am a third-generation UGA student, and I am proud to say that my grandfather, my parents, my cousins, and my younger sister are all Bulldogs. Number 70, Prime Meridian Bank, Tallahassee, Florida, Sammy D. Dixon Jr., class of '92. Number 69, Sunbelt Technology, Atlanta, Georgia, Wes Bradshaw, class of '99. Number 68, Innovative Therapy Concepts, LLC, Hawkinsville, Georgia, Joe Sapp, class of '94. Number 67, RIA Solutions, Buford, Georgia, Catherine Lemoyne, class of '98, and Rob Lemoyne, class of '98. Number 66, Association Management, LLC, St. Simons Island, Georgia, Mary Bryan Fields, class of '71, and Alva Youngner, class of '66, class of '73, class of '75, and class of '77. Number 65, Red Clay Communications Incorporated, Cumming, Georgia, Joshua W. Jones, class of 2008. Number 64, Liberty Technology Incorporated, Griffin, Georgia, Ben Johnson, class of 2000. Number 63, Forsyth Exterminating, Cumming, Georgia, Julie Ramirez, class of 2006. Number 62, Colonial House of Flowers, Statesboro, Georgia, Chrissy Hulsey, class of '98. Number 61, The Propel Agency, Atlanta, Georgia, Tillman Douglas, class of '90, and Jeffrey Merez, class of '83.
My name is Taryn Winston. I am a third year from Lawrenceville, Georgia, majoring in political science and public affairs journalism with a pre-law intent. Aside from the Student Alumni Council, I am also a member of the University Judiciary as well as on the Georgia Political Review. I volunteer at the Thomas Lay After School Program, and I was recently awarded the William Moore Crane Scholarship for Leadership in the Community. Number 60, K Insurance Services Incorporated, Savannah, Georgia, John Sipple, class of 2000, and Christopher K., class of '97. Number 59, DPM Fragrance, Starkville, Mississippi, Thomas Reed, class of '87. Number 58, Cowboy Jungle Incorporated, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Eric Johnson, class of '90. Number 57, LTC Tree, Sandy Springs, Georgia, Derek Wilkins, class of '98. Number 56, BrokerHunter.com, Cumming, Georgia, David Testerman, class of '95, and Jeff Testerman, class of '97. Number 55, Initial Outfitters Incorporated, Auburn, Alabama, Alicia Storbeck, class of '90. Number 54, White Oak Pastures, Bluffton, Georgia, Will Harris, class of '76. Number 53, Fabric, Atlanta, Georgia, Dana Spinola, class of '96. Number 52, 8 at 8, Atlanta, Georgia, Sarah Catherine Smith, class of '98. Number 51, Dance FX Incorporated, Athens, Georgia, Danielle Hosker, class of 2001.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pranay Dutha, and I'm an International Affairs and Biology double major from Wheeler High School. On campus as a Bernard Ramsey Honors Scholar, I've been able to travel to 3 continents to intern and present my policy and scientific research as well. On campus, I've been a student government senator, a university council representative, and a Residence Hall Association executive board member. After I graduate, I hope to pursue my policy interests, particularly in international monetary trade and public health. Number 50, the Mabra Firm, LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. Ronnie Mabra, class of 2004. Number 49, R.L. Cunningham and Sons Incorporated from Quitman, Georgia. Larry Cunningham, class of 1980, and Chris Cunningham, class of 2007. Number 48, Tower Source Incorporated, Roswell, Georgia. Doug Weston, class of 1989. Number 47, NCM Associates from Overland Park, Kansas. Paul Folletti, class of 1999. Number 46, Atlanta Wine School from Atlanta, Georgia. Michael Bryan, class of 1989. Number 45, Action Ministries, also Atlanta, Georgia. John Mueller, class of 1993. Number 44, Jackrabbit Technologies, Huntersville, North Carolina. Mark Mahoney, class of 1983. Number 43, Mather Economics from Roswell, Georgia. Matt Lindsay, class of 1992 and class of 1999. Number 42, EOC 1, Bainbridge, Georgia. Kevin Hitchcock, class of 1994. Number 41, Universal Servo Group from Cumming, Georgia. Larry Voss, class of 1994. And Stuart Bloodworth, class of 1994.
My name is Taylor Kiley, and I'm a 4th year from Savannah, Georgia, majoring in exercise and sports science. In addition to serving on the Student Alumni Council, I am president of my sorority, Gamma Sigma Sigma, and was named a Candace Sherman Emerging Leader Award for my leadership within the chapter. Upon graduating in May, I will begin my graduate education at South University in the Anesthesiologist Assistant Program. Number 40, Astir IT Solutions Incorporated, South Plainfield, New Jersey. Kishore Ganji, class of 2003. Number 39, Inspect All Services, Conyers, Georgia. Brandon Lunsford, class of 2002, and Brian Lunsford, class of 2002. Number 38, Subs Johnson, LLC, Anderson, South Carolina. Brian L. Johnson, class of 95. Number 37, Police and Sheriff's Press Incorporated, Vidalia, Georgia. Frank D. Rayford, class of 79, and Melanie Ledford Rayford, class of 84. Number 36, Insight Strategic Communications, Roswell, Georgia. Maureen Clayton, class of 80, and class of 84. Number 35, Ironwood Insurance Services, LLC, Atlanta, Georgia. Will Underwood, class of 85. Skin Edge, class of 2005. Matt Haney, class of 2003. Matt Levin, class of 96 and class of 2000. And Mark Watson, class of 80. Number 34, Full Media, Gainesville, Georgia. Chris Nordholz, class of 95 and class of 96. and Kevin West, class of 2002. Number 33, Resolution Technologies, Atlanta, Georgia, Joseph Bell, class of 2001. Number 32, Clyde Armory, Bogart, Georgia, Andrew Clyde, class of 99. Number 34, Velocity Technology Partners, Athens, Georgia, Joseph Moon, class of 97, and David M. Denham, class of 90.
Hello, my name is Alex Caruth, and I'm a third year from Powder Springs, Georgia, majoring in public relations. I've served on the executive board of UGA Heroes for the past 3 years, and am currently the editor-in-chief of the Chapel Bell, a campus publication. Post-graduation with these experiences and others, I hope to work for an advertising agency or a public relations firm. Number 30, Starnes Publishing, Mountain Brook, Alabama, Dan Starnes, class of 98. Number 29, Europi Franchising, Athens, Georgia, Bucky Cook, class of 77, Arthur Allen French, class of 77, and Drew French, class of 2005. Number 28, Southern Tradition Tailgating LLC, Starkville, Mississippi, Brad Vickers, class of 2007. Number 27, 6 Degrees Group, Alpharetta, Georgia, Tracy Bates, class of 87. Number 26, Kelly Manufacturing Company, Tifton, Georgia, Benny Branch, class of 88, and class of 90. Number 25, Towable Tailgates, Eatonton, Georgia, Joshua R. Daniel, class of 2006. Number 24, Do My Own Pest Control, Norcross, Georgia, Michael Gosling, class of 2000. Number 23, The Leaders Lyceum, Atlanta, Georgia, Keith Eigel, class of 95, and class of 98. Number 22, The Hardcore Gym, Athens Fitness and MMA, Athens, Georgia, Adam Singer, class of 98 and class of 2007, and Rory Singer, class of 99. Number 21, Bryant Carroll and Associates, Atlanta, Georgia, Jake Bryant, class of 98.
My name is Micah David. I'm a third year from Marietta, Georgia, majoring in nutrition science with pre-med intent. I serve as the vice president of the Student Alumni Council and was one of the class of 2017 G-Book editors. I serve as the founder and president of the Nutrition Science Student Association and am fundraising co-chair of Georgia Days, a minority recruitment organization. Number 20, Early Trucking Company, Arlington, Georgia, James Cannon, class of 77, and Brian Willis, class of 85. Number 19, Mullins Management and Entertainment, Evans, Georgia, Joe Mullins, class of 95. Number 18, Needle Solutions, Norcross, Georgia, Joshua Needle, class of 99. Number 17, Estes Landscape Design Incorporated, Sharpsburg, Georgia, Robert Estes, class of 95, and Travis Clyett, class of 95. Number 16, Smyrna Truck and Cargo, Smyrna, Georgia, Scott Edens, class of 99. Number 15, Jobtopia, Alpharetta, Georgia, Anthony Moore, class of 93. Number 14, Asa Carlton Incorporated, Beaufort, Georgia, Scott Hester, class of 93. Number 13, Mom Corps, Atlanta, Georgia, Allison O'Kelly, class of 94. Number 12, Farm D On Demand Incorporated, Athens, Georgia, Michael Azalin, class of 2002, and Andy Bars, also class of 2002. Number 11, Williams Tusink, LLC, Decatur, Georgia. Eric M. Tusink, class of 2003, and David J. Metzger, class of 2002.
My name is Derek Kamek. I am a third year from Vidalia, Georgia, majoring in accounting. I am currently serving as president of Student Alumni Council, and I am a Leonard Leadership Scholar in the Terry College of Business Institute for Leadership Advancement. This summer, I will be studying abroad in Australia and New Zealand. After graduation, I plan to pursue a career in accounting or entrepreneurship. Number 10, Sovereign Systems, Norcross, Georgia. George Barkley, class of 94, Matt Cadogan, class of 96, and Michael Hunsucker, class of 91. Number 9, Two Maids and a Mop. Mountain Brook, Alabama, Ron Holt, class of 97. Number 8, Blake and Brady. Anderson, South Carolina, Sissa Sullivan, class of 94, and Chris Sullivan, class of 93. Number 7, Professional Technology Integration Incorporated, Norcross, Georgia, Walter Lee Jones III, class of 97. Number 6, Evo Shield, Bogart, Georgia, Bob Pinckney, class of 82. Number 5, Aycock Properties Incorporated, Atlanta, Georgia, Kevin Aycock, class of 2002. Number 4, Hitson Land and Timber Management Incorporated, Port Orange, Florida, Greg Hitson, class of 94. Number 3, the Ansley Group, Atlanta, Georgia, Beno Ansley III, class of 99. Number 2, Vert Mobile LLC, Atlanta, Georgia, Kevin Planovsky, class of 2005, Matt Griffin, class of 2005, and Michael Lenz, class of 2006. At this time, I invite Deborah Dietzler back to the lectern to announce the 2014 fastest growing Bulldog business.
Makes you very, very proud to be a Georgia Bulldog, doesn't it? One of the absolute pleasures of the job, of course, is the opportunity to work with outstanding students such as these. Now my pleasure, of course, to introduce the fastest growing Bulldog business. This year's number 1 fastest growing Bulldog business began in 2002 in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Founded by 2000 School of Social Work graduate Rochelle D. Hutchinson, known as Shelley to her colleagues, this Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Centers accredited facility offers a wide range of mental health services, including intensive family intervention services and indigent services. Prior to founding the company, Shelley spent many years working in social services in a wide variety of capacities for the Department of Family and Children Services. She then moved on to provide individual therapy for families in crisis, completing in-depth assessments of children entering foster care, and training new workers for the Department of Family and Children Services. Shelley has assisted with public relations for the Office of Adoptions, coordinated a crisis intervention service for adoptive parents, and has led training institutes for foster parents. In 2011, she was honored by the School of Social Work for her role in supervising UGA students working on their field practice. She operates the company with her husband, Edward, a 2009 graduate of the College of Education. Their dog bone of wisdom states, always surround yourself with people who are smarter than you and listen more than you speak. We are thrilled that Shelley represents a number of firsts for the Bulldog 100. She is the first ever School of Social Work honoree to make the Bulldog 100. She is the first minority and the first female business leader of a #1 Bulldog 100 business. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with pride that I introduce to you the 2014 fastest growing Bulldog business, Social Empowerment Center, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Rochelle D. Hutchinson, class of 2000, and Edward Hutchinson, class of 2009.
I have no words. I was not expecting this at all. What I want to say is I should not be up here alone. I have so many people who have supported me over the years. Number one is my husband, who they called his name, but he would not come up with me, Edward Hutchinson, because during the years where Social Empowerment Center grew, he kept the real job at SunTrust while I tried to grow a business. So we were able to live and grow a business at the same time. I'm fortunate enough to have with me Dr. Geraldine Jackson-White, who was my graduate advisor at UGA, the Dean of School Social Work, Dr. Daniels, who actually has employed me, so I'm now teaching in school social work, so thank you, Dr. Daniels. My kids are here, Riley and Ellis, who hopefully will join in my footsteps, along with my nephew, who's 18, who is hopefully going to be putting in his application for UGA. So anyone who wants to approve his application, please see me after the at the celebration. But my parents, my husband, my family, my support system, my office staff is actually here. My office manager, my billing genius, Sheila Lindsay and Tyresha Brown. I'm not here alone. I have so many people supporting me who are here, who are not here. My dog bone of wisdom, that you should surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. I have done that. And to listen more than you speak. I've done that too. And that's the only thing I can say how I got up here today. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Shelley and Edward, and to the Social Empowerment Center and all our honorees. I thank all of you for being part of the 5th Annual Bulldog 100. What an amazing 5 years it has been, and we're looking forward to so many more. We will be accepting nominations for 2015 beginning Monday, this coming Monday, January 27th. So do be nominating those businesses you know, owned or operated by our grads. On behalf of the Alumni Association, our board of directors, and in fact the whole university community, thank you for your attendance tonight. As a token of our appreciation, we've placed a signed copy, and thank you, Fran, of Fran Tarkenton's autobiography, Every Day is Game Day, at your seats, so enjoy that. To close tonight's program, though, ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to present to you the Bulldog 100 class of 2014. Again, thank you for attending this evening. At this time, we're going to take class photos followed by individual school and college photos. So this will be a very speedy process. If you'll just stay off the stage, and honorees, just listen when your school and college is called. Stay there for just 1 second.